EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to Cleveland Brown Stadium on the shores of Lake Erie. Today it's week 3, and we've got a good one in store, as it'll be the Tennessee Titans taking on the Cleveland Browns. Two 1-1 teams here, each looking to move over 500, and we're underway here in week 3. Bringing it out of his end zone, Isaiah Rodgers. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
At their own 20-yard line.
Let's go now.
It's over. Let's get that ball. Let's get that ball.
The NFL's leading rusher in 2019 and 2020, Derrick Henry. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Levis. They set up the screen for Henry. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. The Titans get 14 yards there and move the chains as well.
And as you're game planning as a staff, you go through all the different ways you can neutralize the other guy's pass rushers. Extra linemen, leave a tight end in, bring the running backs back in to block. Or you can do this, a little simple screen pass, and it works to perfection.
1st and 10, here's Levis. Got an open man to the right, that's Wesco. So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. Well, this defense for the Browns, much improved from week 1. They were terrific last week in getting their guys their first win of the season.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
And that's good for a gain of 6, and it makes it 3rd down and 2 yards to go. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And he brings this up to the 46, good enough for the first. It'll be a gain of 6 that time as it moves the chains as well. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Again, it's Henry. Trying to keep those big legs churning, but he's going to go down in the backfield. He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2.
Well, I would have figured after the 9-yard run on the previous play, getting 1 more yard wouldn't have been much of a problem. But apparently it was, and now it's 3rd down.
Third and 2, here's Levis. And this is going to be incomplete.
You absolutely have to have this early on, right? 3rd and short, they elect to throw for it, and that's normal NFL football. They're going to throw on 3rd and short, but you got to hit it, don't you?
Yeah, in the first quarter, like you said, to set the tone, can't connect there. And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th. Levis throwing for it on 4th. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. How about them biting off 15 yards there on the 4th down attempt and keeping the drive alive? So they convert on 4th, and now from just outside the 30, here's 1st and 10. Levis sets up to throw here. No, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Grant Delpit. And the Browns are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line. So problems with errant passing continuing. Remember, he threw 2 picks in the loss last week, and now another here in this first quarter.
And sometimes, partner, this is the result of a quarterback who's simply trying to do too much. Feels like he's trying to make up for what he did last week, and you can't do it all on one throw.
He had to fight that time. Ran through 1 tackle, but ultimately he's only going to get back to the line of scrimmage. You talk about this Titan defense. This unit, they've struggled a little bit against the pass, ranked number 21 in the league.
They'll take that play right there each and every snap because throughout this season, they've given up some big plays. To be able to hold someone to no gain, oh yeah, they'll take that one all game long.
Sticking with Walker on second down. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Third and 5. And they'll send the tight end in motion left.
Hey, 31.
Now Watson. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. After getting that turnover on the first drive of the game, you'd hate to just stall out the momentum, go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
Yeah, we talk about complementary football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Defense went out, forced a turnover, gave the ball to the offense. It's now the offense's responsibility to pay that off for them, to show respect to them. Hey, you guys got a turnover? We appreciate it. They want to continue their drive.
Walker now on 1st and 10. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. Danico Autry is in on the stop. The Browns at 1-1 through 2 games thus far. It's not a start that's going to set the world on fire, but they've been pretty solid nonetheless.
And the first thing that crosses my mind, it certainly beats the alternative of starting 0-2. I do think that this is a team that's going to take a little time to find its footing. Hard to navigate the always tough NFL.
Second and 5. Sticking with Walker on second down. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a third down.
They did a really nice job there defensively. They strung the play out, didn't give him a cutback lane. On each play, you have guys what I call our BCR players. Guys are responsible for the bootleg, for the cutback, and for the reverse. They played that one perfectly.
And rode him right out of bounds. They need 2. Here's third down. Well, you got to think, Charles, that one's on the quarterback as everybody was up at the line of scrimmage. He just didn't call for the snap in time.
Yeah, I think he needs a little bit better awareness out there because you got to know when the clock's in single digits and either snap it or get a timeout called if you have one.
Throwing on third down, Watson. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
One first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
Oh, a big decision here early. Look at this. They're going to go for it on their own side of the field. They will indeed snap it to Watson. That is caught. And some room to maneuver. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. 21 yards there. A big play on 4th down.
Charles, their first drive of the game, and already they're taking chances here, but they get the 4th down conversion. I'm curious, do you think that that's something they game plan for on the opening drive if it came up, or is that something that happened organically?
I think that they game plan for it, Brandon, and when you think about it, let's just say it. The word analytics is a big part of how everyone looks at a game nowadays, but it's not just the analytics. It's a coach willing to be daring, willing to be bold, and they certainly were there.
Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
Hey, alert! Hey, 59!
Back to Walker on 1st down. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Watson off play action. He'll buy some time right.
Oh, it's intercepted. A drive killer there.
Picked by Kevin Byard. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. So call off the pick 6.
Everything looked right. It looked like it was in their favor. Returned it for a touchdown, as you just described. But instead, the penalty for interference nullifies everything.
First and goal, a chance to convert that early turnover into points. Walker is into the end zone for a Browns touchdown.
He had the option to hand that football off. I think it's safe to say that he made the right decision. That was a heck of a run.
It certainly was, and when you mentioned the option, most people think the quarterback's not going to keep the ball. You know, in the NFL, that's usually not the recipe for being around too long. So when you do keep it, it often surprises the heck out of a defense.
Now Cade York for the extra point.
And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
On the return from his end zone, Rodgers. And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving. That was a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Well, now hang on here because he appears to be shaken up. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. 3rd and 2. Third and short. It's Levis. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have a Titans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle.
There he goes, right side. Big strides. Look at him go. Touchdown, Titans. Chigakonkwo, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Titans are an extra point away now from moving out in front. Solid response that time by a young quarterback. Last drive, interception. This drive, the touchdown pass.
I like how you described it, solid, because you don't get extra kudos for bouncing back if you're going to be a big-time quarterback. You're supposed to do that. But at the same time, when you're a rookie, that's not guaranteed, is it? Sometimes they hang their heads and they go in the tank a little bit. Not in this case. Bounced back, took his team downfield, and threw a touchdown pass.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
59.
They'll run with Walker to begin the drive.
And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After a 1-point game, 7-6. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Cooper the man in motion right.
Hey, 59! Hey, 55!
Watson on 1st down. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it'll be 2nd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Set!
2nd and 6. On 2nd down, it's Walker. And only a couple for him there as the tackle is made at the 42.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Hey, 54!
From the gun on 3rd, Watson. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Now on 4th down here, that pass knocked away and incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Titans, they've got the football back, and they've got it in great field position. Now
the rookie third rounder from Tulane, it's Tajay Spears.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
Anthony Walker up behind the line and finishing that play off.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Now Levis. And brought in downfield by Burks.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A gain there of 21 yards.
First and 10, it's Levis.
He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's second down.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
On second down, here's Henry. He'll be brought down short of the 15, but a really good move on the run. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a third and about 4.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. And that's complete to Westbrook-Akine.
Touchdown!
Nick Westbrook-Akine.
His first touchdown here of the new campaign.
And the Titans are able to add on to that lead.
Badgley on for the extra point. And it's up. It's good. Our score 14-6.
Titans 14, Browns 6.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
He will return this from deep in the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
And now timeout is whistled as it appears there's a Brown shaken up on the play.
So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside.
The Browns drive about to get started.
Charles, we know that this offense is aggressive. We saw that last drive. They went for it on 4th down, didn't get it. Then they give up the touchdown. So now you feel like they really need to respond here.
They certainly do, but let's face it. Sometimes when you take that risk, you understand if you fail, a little more onus goes back on your ball club to try and pick themselves back up.
Second and 10.
Up the middle they run. It's Walker. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26.
48 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice steady gain.
Hey, 24.
Watson to throw on 3rd and 1. A bullet throw, but incomplete. Normally, I'd say this will lead to a punt attempt, but this offense already shown in the first half that they'll go for it on 4th down.
Oh, they should have already said, punt it, punt it. Head coach should have already made that decision.
And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. They are going for it. Here's Watson.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert.
And that's a big pickup of a first down. And you know that all week, both sides of the ball, offense and defense, are going through every situation. And in this case, the offensive guys had the right play dialed up because defensively, you work on 4th down situations as well.
And deflating for the defense. They can't get the stop here. Now a first down throw, Watson.
This one goes underneath to Walker.
So the completion good for just 3. And that will bring up second down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. The linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play.
Oh, wide open, complete, and all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Amari Cooper. 57 yards.
And the Browns have come back to make it a 2-point game.
It took them a while to get their speedster involved, but they found him downfield there.
And what we've discovered as we've watched games is the speedster doesn't have to have a lot of catches, doesn't have to have volume in order to have a huge impact on the game. His speed scares the heck out of defenses, and other guys can capitalize, but when you finally hit him and he carries it all the way into the end zone, that's what you're paying him for. That big threat that can make big plays on a limited number of catches.
That's how you step on the stage with your first catch. Take it to the house.
54!
Come on, baby, rock and roll.
Looking to maybe throw for it here, Watson. And unable to connect. They don't get the 2-point conversion here. Tough there. Good pass. Hit the hands. He just couldn't bring it in.
And every receiver's coach everywhere, seeing that play, focus, focus, focus. Watch it all the way in and tuck it away.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Titans take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. Touchdowns on back-to-back drives, so a very good flow right now offensively.
Hard to slow them down, too, because they are locked in. Feel like the offense coordinator's a little bit ahead of the defensive guys right now. They're beating them to the punch with their play calls. They've got a nice rhythm they're locked into. How can the defensive guys come up with something that'll disrupt that flow? That's what they're seeking right now.
Well, it's been an exciting sequence to watch. A first down carry for Henry. And he tries to power forward, but he will not get back to the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
At the 36-yard line.
Working from the gun. Here's Levis. Throw to the right, caught by Okonkwo.
A big play that time for the Titans. And even 50 yards.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, if only they were all this easy, because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
Here's 2nd and 10. 2nd down. Here's Levis.
They set up the screen for Henry. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Give him 5 on the screenplay, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
Boy, that was certainly well read defensively. And the key to any screenplay is space to work. And there was none to be found there. And they tackle him for just a short gain.
Levis back to throw.
And it's caught. And inside the 5 here before he's out of bounds, right at the 3. The gain of 5 that time gives him the conversion and makes it 1st and goal.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
Henry will get down close to the goal line, but not in, as he'll be marked down at the 1.
He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. They'll bring a receiver in motion right.
Now they'll fake a jet sweep and run up the middle with Henry.
And this time he is in.
Yes.
Derrick Henry
With his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Titans will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that makes this a 9-point game. There's the Titan kick team as they run up and send this one away.
This will be returned from deep in the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
To throw is Watson. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field.
Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
Picked off by Amani Hooker. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
They'll take over 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Here we go, here we go.
Levis now on 1st and 10.
That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock.
That was nice work there defensively to force the incompletion. Now, even though this drive started in plus territory, they're still not in field goal range yet. So they can work towards another couple of stops and not allowing that turnover to hurt.
And he takes us just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. 17 yards on that play for the Titans. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. Badgley's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put...
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he takes it the distance. No time remaining.
No cloth on the field.
Yeah, no flags, and it's a kickoff return to end the first half.
And as we've talked to special teams coaches, that theme of being aggressive continues to come through, doesn't it? When they moved the kickoff back to the 35, it was going to cut down on the number of opportunities. But if you've got a special guy, you give him the green light no matter where he fields it in the end zone. And in this case, it paid off handsomely.
Well, he fielded it deep in the range of emotions. Maybe like, oh, no, don't. And then all of a sudden you see him break it. You're like, yeah, way to go.
Yeah, sometimes you have to remind your head coach that he approved the green light for bringing it out from deep in the end zone. And that's exactly why he did.
So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. It's been a shootout so far. We'll see which defense can make the adjustments as we get back underway in the second half.
Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out.
Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And a very solid return out across the 45-yard line before going out of bounds.
Well, that return had all the trappings of really good scouting. You could tell that they thought they saw something on tape that they could take advantage of, and they dialed it up at just the right time to give them a great return.
The Browns drive about to get started.
Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the third quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now that he's getting the ball to start the second half, How about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the third quarter.
24!
On second down, here's Watson.
Throw out wide to Walker.
Some extra space following the display of power. Down just inside the 45.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. Here's Watson.
He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. Defense was expecting run, and they're dealt a pass of over 15 yards.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Watson. And this is incomplete. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
Again, it's Watson. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
A field goal helps, but a touchdown gets you the lead. That had to be the message transmitted in the huddle. And they deliver theirs. That throw is going to keep the drive alive. And even better than that, set them up with a 1st and goal.
Here's Walker.
And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
If you're going to keep these guys out of the end zone, you've got to be able to commit to stopping the run. And that's a nice job there, getting the safeties involved in run support.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Now Watson. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Deshaun Watson with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season.
And the Browns are an extra point away from capturing the lead.
And Deshaun Watson shows off his mobility yet again. Just 1 touchdown rushing in 6 starts last season. But the way that he moves around, if receivers are covered, he'll tuck it and go as he did there.
Extra point by York is up and good.
And that will put them on top here in the 3rd. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away.
Rodgers going to return it from his end zone.
Now a crease here as he's past the 30.
Isaiah Rodgers.
He will take this all the way. Touchdown, Tennessee. It's been a back-and-forth game, a lot of points on the board, and that return right there kind of indicative of how this thing's gone.
Well, you've seen both teams go at it, and as you just pointed out, both of them have found the end zone. But just like in boxing, you know the blow that hurts the most? The one you didn't see coming, and that often is the case when it comes in special teams.
Levis will try to throw for the 2.
Steps away to his left. And this one incomplete. So they went for the 2. They don't get it.
I don't know about you, but I can't wait for a few years of 2-point tries and see what the data tells us, because a lot of teams want to throw the ball in this situation, this time unsuccessfully. I just wonder if maybe running the ball might be the way to go.
With it moved up from the 3 to the 2, you would think maybe a few more attempts at running.
I think stats over time may bear out that running the ball will at least be the equal of throwing it in that situation.
The Cleveland offense ready to go.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways, because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
On 1st and 10, Watson. He's got the connection to Cooper. His second catch, this one not quite as dynamic as his first, and it's 2nd down.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
Back to throw, Watson. Right back to Cooper, and he got him again. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down.
Watson on 3rd down.
Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. Well, they only needed a small gain on 3rd down. They end up getting over 30 yards.
Well, this game has certainly had no shortage of offense. Both teams have been revved up from the start. And here's yet another big play. Boy, both defenses have just got to be dragging out there because they've been run ragged throughout.
24.
Faking the give. Now Watson.
No, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. It's Roger McCreary with a pick.
And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
So what a turn of events there. You're driving to take the lead in this 3rd quarter, but then one mistake, and you're watching the ball being returned for a touchdown.
Certainly a great example of how focus has to be there on every play, doesn't it, partner? You can't get complacent, and I think that he did. He's got him moving downfield, but that's a play where he just shouldn't have thrown the football, and that ultimately could wind up costing him the ball game.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Watson and the Browns now with a 1st and 10
at their own 25-yard line. Fresh off the pick 6, it's Watson rolling to his right.
And now Watson throws another interception. Picked off by Isaiah Rodgers.
And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
And Charles, for this offense, those interception woes they kind of had in the first half have now followed them into the second half. And for this defense, they take advantage, turn that into a pick 6.
And that defense is in a spot now where they're thinking about ways to close this game out. And as confidently as they've been playing, I expect them to do exactly that.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away.
And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
55!
Watson off play action. Deep ball for Goodwin. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for them. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
64! Hey, 31! Hey, 59!
Now it's Watson.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And he'll be touched out here, but not before he does pick up the first. And they're going to speed things up here.
Straight ahead, Walker.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
They suspected that it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
Now we'll play fake, and it's Watson. Pressure comes, and the Titans able to bring him down. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
All about the offense so far this drive, putting something sustained together. But the defense, they responded on that play. 2nd and manageable became 3rd and long. The drive marching to the end zone is 1 play from stalling out.
Deep ball for Goodwin. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this 3rd quarter as he'll go for it on 4th down.
54 is down. He's coming.
They will indeed snap it to Watson. He's got a man complete. It's Amari Cooper. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a 1st down. I don't know if I agree with that. I guess they don't care if I agree with that. But, boy, you have to be surprised by that, right?
I definitely was surprised that they decided to go for it in this situation. But they must have either felt like they either had a great play call on or they're trying to show extreme confidence.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete.
They had their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
Watson's throw taken in by Cooper here.
And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 18. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
From the red zone now, Watson. And this is incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Here's Watson.
And this one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football. Nearly a fourth pick of the ball game.
That's a big force incompletion there to bring up 3rd and long, and this defense can still salvage a little momentum by forcing them to kick a field goal, because just a few plays ago, they looked like they were headed towards the end zone.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10.
59.
Watson now to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Marquise Goodwin. A touchdown on a kick return, and now one through the air. And the Browns are able to get a score back in the final stages of this 3rd quarter. So he scrambled right, but was able to look back toward the middle of the end zone to find the target.
As you know, in this game, sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules, because
We all know most guys throwing the football are taught never throw back into the middle of the field on a scramble. He did it and got away with it for a touchdown.
Instinct sometimes, right? They just take over.
instinct and vision. Sometimes you just see people who are open, you're able to get it to them.
Looking to maybe throw for it here, Watson. And now the pressure gets there, and he goes down. So he couldn't get rid of the football, and that deficit stays right where it is. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
On the return from his end zone, Rodgers. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18.
At their own 18-yard line.
Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away.
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Myles Garrett showing that athleticism as he gets in to make the play. So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. They run wide side with Henry. And this Browns defense coming to life. They get him behind the line for a 2nd straight play. They lose 2 on that last play, so things get even tougher. 3rd and long coming up.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need.
Picked off by Greg Newsome. And the Browns are right back in this football game.
The Browns take over 1st and 10 at their own 32-yard line.
The Cleveland offense ready to go.
The interception was a great starting point, but now they need points pretty quickly, down 2 scores.
54.
After the interception, here's Watson. And his throw is incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Up the middle, here's Walker.
Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, boy, here's a sight you don't want to see. Ken Walker injured on that last play.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they're hitting at 60%, 6 out of 10 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
59. 59. 55. Hey, 54. 26.
To throw is Watson. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
And they're at the point of the ball game now where they've got to take some chances. They've got to put the ball in the air and just see what happens. But this defense knows that all too well.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's going to pick up the Browns' first down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive.
Good yardage on the completion there. And when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand the field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
Now a first down throw, Watson. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Watson looks to throw again.
And this one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football. Nearly a 4th pick of the ball game.
Oh, this defense knows. 4th quarter, they need to make a play. That one was ripe for the taking. Could have changed the complexion of the ball game, but it winds up incomplete.
54. Hey, 31.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. That is caught, and he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 28. A 3rd down conversion with a strong gain of 14. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Here's Watson. Man open, it's Goodwin. And he's brought down, but not before a gain of 13, down to the 13. 1st and 10 in the red zone. They'll give it up to the big man Walker. And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
Facing a 2nd and 6 from the 8. And going right back to Walker. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. 82 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
So a decent deficit at this stage in the second half. 4-down territory?
No doubt about it. There's not a chance that he hasn't looked ahead and said, okay, if we gain yardage on this play, this is what we'll do going forward. If we lose yardage, this is the play call that I'll have ready.
Now Watson. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Jordan Akins. A 1-yard touchdown reception.
And the Browns have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. Well, that's just how they drew it up, CD. His first read was there, got it to him quickly, and into the end zone.
Absolutely excellent execution by all involved. And the coordinator, yeah, I give him credit, found the perfect play call. Quarterback let it fly as soon as the target came free, and his guy made a nice catch. Just how you draw it up in practice and then execute it in the game.
Taken at the goal line.
And he's going to be out of bounds here right at the 20-yard line.
Titans take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. I'm curious to see, Charles, about the play calling on this drive. Last time out, the interception that led to a touchdown. Here we are. I mean, very close, one-score game.
Yeah, and if I'm a defender, I'm actually chirping to you on the other side of the ball, saying, hey, we picked off the last one. What you going to do about it now? So when you do throw the football, high percentage, but throw it with confidence. If there's any hesitancy at all, it could end up in enemy's hands again.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Henry running right. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in, and all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake it the football, get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score and this game's over.
Inside handoff, Henry. He stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14. Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
Levis on third down. And he's wrapped up, taken down, back at the 25. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Badgley able to knock this one through, and that will make this a 9-point lead. So that one, CD, going to make the road back a lot more difficult.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. You know they were praying on the other sideline for a miss because now, as you pointed out, a very difficult road. Down 2 scores. You don't just need a touchdown. You need a chain of events to go your way. You've got to score, somehow get the ball back, and score again. The odds of that happening, not great in your favor.
The Browns drive about to get started. And the complexion of this one has changed a fair amount. That last field goal made it a 2-score game, so they need to get points out of this drive relatively quickly. Watson on first down. Well, there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the 4th quarter, picking up the first.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time, and that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
Time becoming a factor, down 2 scores, though they have 2 timeouts and, of course, the 2-minute warning to work with as well. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll try again here. 2nd and 10.
Getting fourth down, he's coming.
Here's Watson.
And that is taken in by Njoku. Now the Browns signal for the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
Here's first down.
54. 59.
Now Watson.
He's got his receiver, Cooper. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him.
From the gun, it's Walker. Yeah, he'll work free from 1 tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down.
The Browns try to get back and set quickly here. Time ticking away. And this is intercepted, and that should do it.
It's Roger McCreary with a pick, and the Titans are going to have it here at their own 15. With the points that we've seen scored, neither defense has been at their best, but these guys, they've been a little bit better, Charles, and a nice interception there.
Yeah, you're right about that, Brandon. Let's face it. It's not always how you start, it's how you finish, right? So maybe you have a rough game all the way along, but if you make a big play like that at the right time, it can make everything turn out just okay.
The Browns will quickly use their third and final timeout as they get the stoppage with 65 seconds remaining.
Let's go.
Let's go to work. Pick it up, defense. Let's go.
The Titans go victory formation as they take a knee.
Here we go, set. Pick it up, guys. Pick it up.
Levis takes a knee here, and that should just about do it.
So with that knee, 3 weeks in the books, and they creep above 500 now at 2-1.
You know, I played with a guy once after taking a knee at the end of the game, and he came in and grabbed the equipment manager and said, make sure you wash that spot, you know, special, because I just took a knee for a win. That tells you how much guys enjoy that, because getting a win, no one takes it for granted.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for the Titans, they get back in the win column as they move to 2-1 now on the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Browns, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. With that, we say so long from Cleveland.